The content shared in this YouTube video, as well as any resources linked below, is not intended to be interpreted or relied upon as financial advice. We are not lawyers, accountants, or financial advisors, nor do we claim to be. The information provided is not a replacement for personalized financial advice from a qualified professional who understands the specific details of your situation. While we strive to ensure the accuracy and value of the information shared on this channel and through associated resources, it should not be considered a recommendation to avoid consulting with a financial professional. Always seek guidance from a trusted expert to address your unique circumstances.
Welcome, friends. Yeah, I'm having a little technical difficulties over here getting some of this stuff going with the back end here. So just bear with me for a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and we'll restart the countdown and play a few of these videos before we get started, and then we'll jump right into the charts.
The content shared in this YouTube video, as well as any resources linked below, is not intended to be interpreted or relied upon as financial advice. We are not lawyers, accountants, or financial advisors, nor do we claim to be. The information provided is not a replacement for personalized financial advice from a qualified professional who understands the specific details of your situation. While we strive to ensure the accuracy and value of the information shared on this channel and through associated resources, it should not be considered a recommendation to avoid consulting with a financial professional. Always seek guidance from a trusted expert to address your unique circumstances.
All right, we're unmuted, ready to go. We got some cool charts. We got some breakouts happening, all kinds of cool stuff. So I know Vets is in the background over here. We're going to be sending off some. All right, looks like we got some people joining in on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll do the thing and get it out here.
Yeah. Hey, I can hear you. Mic check. All right.
Yep, I got you. Mic check. Hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening to around the world. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Shit Show with KRJ, aka Dip Daddy Crypto. Woo-woo!
Yep. So we already went through the EULA and got all that stuff out of the way already. So our second stream of the day. All right. So I just want to jump into. We're not doing anything right here. We're getting the higher lows, just trading flat right here. Nothing is really taken off for much of anything yet. Still kind of a quiet, slow takeoff. Let's go ahead and make these charts bigger. There we go.
And that's really indicative of how Pulse Chain is doing. I mean, obviously, because it's wrapped Pulse, but it's crazy. It's beautiful and crazy at the same time. It's a double-edged sword. I can't even think, man. Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks ago, when I called the bottom, that was right here. So I hit that bottom. Why? Because it hit the 1618 from here to here. It smacked that 1618, wicked off of it, and then now you get higher, low. You still got some resistance coming up right over here, but if we zoom in and look at what's going on, this is going to be the daily chart. We popped down to like the 4 hour. You can see we traded sideways, broke out of that. So this right over here used to be resistance. Now it's going to be support. So you got this big, huge white line right over here on Pulse Chain. We got a little bit more room to grow. So I'd say from where we're at, we're going to pop up somewhere around another 15% before we get rejected. And then when we get rejected, this will be good support. This is... If we do run up from there, we're going to see double digits to the downside, maybe about another 15% up, 15% down. And then this will eventually break out from here. So Bigger time frames look extremely bullish. We're getting these higher lows. It looks like a reversal, but again, we need a big, big, big reversal pattern. So this is going to be like wave one. This is going to be wave two. And then this up here is going to be wave three, which would be a breakout. So we already got 1, 2. This will be 3. This will be number 4 times it'll break through this. So the TA side of pulse chain, we're not out of the water yet. We still got some room to wiggle around, and we really need to get this first wave out of the way, and then we need to come back down and hit this again before we end up taking off. So far we are in a good place on the daily chart with a moves to the upside right now. So this big arrow is not really accurate. It's just kind of what I put out there. If I'm going to gauge this to be the next move to the upside, I'm going to take the 0.25 and put it on that level right there with my fib, because you know the way I like to do it. You start with the wick and you just stretch this all the way up so that you put this right over here was that break point. So this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5 is going to be up here. So I'd probably say this is where you're going to be looking. Before we end up coming up there. So this looks like a pretty good play. That's a nice run to the upside. So if pulse chain starts to move like this, everything else is going to be moving on the whole chain. So we still have a little PDI issue that we're still working with. So there might be some sideways action for a little while, and maybe we do this longer scooping action thing before we actually start to run up. Because again, this is the bottom of the bottom. We don't have a higher low, so we can literally come all the way up here and then come all the way back down. Would be the lowest level. This 618 retracement would be one of the best levels. 618 would be the retracement from the top to the bottom. So you just flip this around, you'd see from here to here is 618 golden pocket zone. So I could see it popping up here, popping all the way down here, and then trading sideways and then going up on the daily chart. So we're looking at weeks before we get going. I'm saying that by the 17th we were going to hit the bottom, but it looks like Bitcoin and other assets are starting to move up. So if we pop back over here to like King 2, we're all sitting here where we're in the bullish territory where we've broken, but we're not making the higher lows yet, right? So we need to do something like this where we make a higher low and then we pop up and then we pop up higher. So now we're scooping. We need to pop up here, come down here, and then roll up. So there's a couple of key levels to get past, which is this right here. This is going to be major resistance. You're going to hit your head on this. So you see all this support, and then you break it. You already retested one time. This is one retest. It's going to come up here and hit a second retest. Third retest can break through. So same concept with WPLS. So I do think this is the bottom of where we're at. I don't think that we're going to go down anymore, considering what Bitcoin and some of the other assets are doing, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Queen 2 is basically doing the same thing. She's got a higher low, very, very baby higher low. So she's starting to do one of these things right here where it's about to start taking off. And that's what I expect over here, 247% on Queen right now. That's the next resistance point you got right over here. So that's looking pretty good. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What are we looking at here with Bitcoin? We've been looking at this chart for a long time. I shared this chart, so if anybody has kept up to date with it, if you save this link and you're going back to it, you're going to see I had all this stuff on here. Watch this 82K level, and we hit this with a 1, 2, a 3, 4 times a break. It's not confirmed yet. We have to wait for today to close because it can wick. Look at this big wick that happened right here. It can do that again right here. So we are right at that level where this is the 4 times a break. You got a little tiny wiggle room where this could be number 3. But it is possible that you still close below that because your candle body is right here. So if you all of a sudden get a big red candle, you can certainly come back down here. I was saying around the 18th. So we had one more week of bearish territory. That's what I was thinking. But she broke out pretty quick. This thing moved up really, really fast, a lot quicker than I thought it was on Bitcoin. And she broke out. So I have a few contradictory things I want to speak about a little bit, but for the most part, she's not confirmed, but she's breaking bullish at this point. So that's good. I mean, that's good for Pulse Chain. That's good for Ethereum. That's good for all the other projects that are currently out there. We're got our eyeballs on it, but just don't be 100% bullish just yet. But this right over here is a bullish pattern. We got our 4 times a break. Everything's happening like it should. Moving over here, you can see you got a breakout here as well. So we're looking good on Bitcoin so far. Just wanted to zoom out and show you that this green line right over here is a 1, a 2, a 3, 4 times a break. We got one retest. This is going to be the next retest. So I'm going to get rid of this. So there's going to be another retest up here, probably at this area. I'm going to say 94K, we get another rejection. So if we end up carrying on, we're going to ride up, we're going to hit the golden pocket and then come back down and see where we go from there. So this is chart number 1 of Bitcoin. We just want to go through a few different things since we did have a breakout. I did want to look at XRP. We can actually pull up XRP in a minute, but I wanted to point out that this was a massive head and shoulders, strong resistance right over here. It hit once, it hit twice and broke through. It's still wicking down. Again, we still have to wait for the confirmation. So it's not 100% as of yet, but it's looking very, very bullish at this point. We have another resistance. We have this one, which only has 1, a 2, and a 3. So I'm assuming we're going to get rejected off that and possibly rejected below here. So we got another, 7 more hours before that candle closes, 6.5 more hours. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens with this candle. If you get a massive pullback and then run down, it's happened. But you got a few things to hit your head on before you start going massively to the upside. It was bearish up until this candle today. So this is a difference in charting patterns that is unexpected, but this is where you're looking. But if you were to stay below here, this would be your target zone is around 80 cents. That's extremely bearish. So what are we looking at for? This is one of the charts I'm going to share in the near future. Something happened in 2024 in January. We used to be in opposite correlation to the DXY, the dollar index. And ever since January of 2024, we now are actually riding the same way as Bitcoin. So you can see all these over here. What's happening is you're hitting your head on resistance on yen right now. So yen got a massive pull up. So that means Bitcoin got a drop. Over here on the British pound, we're now getting wicked back down. So we should actually see a run to the downside and then get supported again. And then Russian ruble, we got a push to the downside, which got us our pump. And right now we're getting rejected. So if we reject here and start coming down the next few days, that means that if these are going down, Bitcoin goes up. Right over here, we got some support. We did break with a 1, 2, 3. That doesn't count as a 4 times a break. We can probably stretch it back here and end up with a 4 times a break right here. That's better. So now you're going to have to get some support right up here. So zoom in this a little bit. It's going to mess up my other ones, but I'm going to be looking at probably a run up here and then a run down here, and then finally a break back to the upside. So Bitcoin trades sideways and DXY trades sideways. Right now we're going to get a small pump, and then we're going to get another dump. So if we take a look at Bitcoin again, if we get a pump up to the golden pocket, we'll get another dump down to this area over here before we can start to run again. So some sideways action should be happening. It's not going to be a moonshot because, again, you have this resistance right here that you're going to hit your head on. It's a pretty steep resistance right over here. So I got two of them that you're looking at. There's this resistance going up. There's this resistance going up. So this is the area to kind of watch that target up in the 94K level. So we'll be following this for the next week. But according to this, we should be getting a reversal right here on the DXY because we're wicking up. We should close this candle body out, and then we should continue it to the upside, which means Bitcoin should go to the upside. So I get some good correlation going on. We can follow this DXY chart, this currency chart, so you can kind of see what's going on. This is one of the charts I wanted to be able to share with you guys. If anybody wants to get their hands on this one. I think when I share this, you should see all four of these charts. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to take it and add it to my list of things to share in the chat, which I'll put in right now. Give me 1 second to pop that in. So this is going to be the BTC and currencies chart. So this is your alpha for the week. I'm giving you this chart. This is my one of the main charts I look at to see which direction Bitcoin is going. Everything I'm doing, most of my lines I'm drawing is just support and resistance, simple support and resistance. So when you're looking at these, when you hit this line, you'll get rejected, even if it's a wick. I can see that correlation. This is going to go down. This is going to go up. This is going to go down. This is going to go down. So I'm pretty confident that with looking at all these different things, just with simple lines on the chart, that it's going to go those particular directions. So, and then I wanted to bring up this chart. This is the what I want to be able to share next week. I put this together a while ago, and I've been playing with this. This is the DXY chart, the dollar index. And what I did was I took the Bitcoin information, the history, and I put it on top of the chart, just to kind of show you what it's looking at. So we can see when Bitcoin started, which was back here, right? That's going to be 2009. And then you can see when XRP started, and then you can see when Ethereum started. And you can follow these charts. So all this stuff on one chart is a gold mine. I love this chart because it gives me some chart patterns. It gives me the 4 times a break. It gives me retest. It gives me all kinds of stuff to look at and think about. If you were to put this stuff on here back in 2001, you would have been able to follow this chart from 2001 all the way down to this 2008 bear market where the housing bubble crashed. So Bitcoin was created right here in the middle of this. You got a housing bubble crash, and then you got Bitcoin created, and then you get its first all-time high. At the same time that Bitcoin got its first all-time high, you had the Mt. Gox hack. Right after that, Russia invades Ukraine, where they went into Crimea. So this is very significant. When I was looking at the history and putting all this stuff together, this is an opposite correlation to Bitcoin. So just understand that if, as far as prior to January of 2024, if the price goes up on DXY, the price goes down on Bitcoin. So when we're trading this and looking at this, we saw a massive pullback. So this was the first all-time high in 2013. Starting 2014, we had our bear run. That was when it went down to, it was really, really low, into the hundreds. And then from there, everybody knows the big bull run of 2017. That didn't start till July of 2017. And it's interesting because Trump got into office 8 years ago and started in November of 2016, and then 2017. So if you look at it over here at the bottom of the screen, it says this is going to be December 1st of 2016 when Trump took office, right? So after Trump took office, we had this rundown right over here, right? And this went all the way to January of 2018. So as soon as Trump took office, we had this major drop. This is the DXY price. But Bitcoin went from like $1,000, it went up to $20,000 in this little span that we have right here. So this was a massive sell-off of the DXY, but the money was being injected into Bitcoin. Somebody was buying Bitcoin. You can see the price of this going down. You can see the price of Bitcoin going up. So that's when we went from $3,000 to $20,000 on Bitcoin, right? So then we started our next bear market, 4-year cycle. So your bear market comes up, and you can see that now there's going to be the all-time lows. You're going to have your first all-time low, second all-time low, and then we come back down, and now we're going to hit January 2021, which is interesting, because there's another president that came into office right here. So the pullback, and then Luna got hacked. Mt. Gox got hacked. Luna got hacked. Bitcoin all-time high. Bitcoin all-time high. Russia invades Ukraine. Russia invades Ukraine. This is a mirror image of what happened back here. Isn't that crazy? Just thinking about this, when you had a Democrat for president, and then you had this happen, and then you had a Democrat for president, and then this happened. I'm not being political. I'm just, we got a Republican in office, and this is what happened when he first got in office, and Bitcoin went on this massive bull run, whereas the rest of this, it kind of just traded sideways. Now, where are we at? Trump gets in office right here. We have another drop. The difference is right here. This is where I've got a hard time figuring out what's going on, because we are now correlated with Bitcoin, the DXY. So this is January of 2024. So you can see, like, right over here where Bitcoin starts to go up, this is now doing some weird stuff. Right over here, Bitcoin DXY went to the upside, Bitcoin went to the upside. DXY went down, Bitcoin went down. That's really bizarre, because all the rest of this time, it was an opposite correlation. So if somebody has any answers on what happened January 2024, I haven't found that answer yet. But what we've got right over here is we've got a massive pull down, and we have a break of it. This is a 1, 2, 3. Is it 4 times a break? I'm on the daily chart right now. I'm on the monthly chart right now. So I'd have to zoom in and do some more TA, but I'm in a channel pattern, so I'm going to assume we're going to keep going down. So when I'm looking at this chart, I'm assuming that we're going to get this run down here to the downside, because I was looking at this chart going down to this side right here and hitting this point. This would be an awesome correlation for this to continue running. Now, is it possible that we completely wick all the way back down and continue to the downside, or we go up and then come all the way back down here? That's possible too. We could come all the way up here and then come all the way back down here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, back down to the 74K level and get another lower high. That's all very possible. And that's going to be around the May time frame. So I wanted this to be the end of April. The 18th of April is when I wanted us to hit this inside this triangle, so we can pop out and we can continue to the upside with higher low, higher low, higher low, and then go up, up, up. But this looks like it may end up coming up here and then coming all the way back down and then hitting the 74K level again for another lower high. And then we start gradually trading sideways, and then we go up parabolic. So it might be a slow run for Bitcoin right now, because this is, I haven't got to that chart yet. So we're waiting for a wick. I'm going to do some more TA on this and then come back to this. But this is one of the charts I really wanted to come back to in the future and share with you guys. We'll do that next week. But something's going on with Ethereum, because it's not following the same suit as everything else. It's going down a lot further than everything else. So Ethereum is something that's I'm going to have to do some more reassessing on, because it looks like it's got a pretty nasty fall coming. But we'll see what happens here. So if this would have popped right over here, I know we can go on a massive bull run, or we can break out of this and then continue all the way up here. So that would give us the opposite of what we're looking at right here. So we'll see what's going on. I'll get some more details on this. But this is the chart I like looking at a lot. I just want to pull over to the rainbow chart. If we're at this level right here, right here, right here, you can see we're more likely going to end up going to the upside. This is going to be the 2-week chart. Do we have some room to come all the way down to this ridiculous level of 25K? No, I don't think that's going to be the case. But this was an old chart I had. I just popped it up so you can see all the happenings and you can see the rainbow colors where we're currently at. Looks like it's still currently following. If it's going to continue to run this next run to the upside, it looks good. The colors are right there. It looks like you run to the upside. It looks like this is going to have levels of about 316. I got a level right over here of about 230. That's going to be the top of this trend line right over here. So you got this big trend line that starts here, goes across here, goes across there. You got one hit, a miss, and this is a good place for it to stop again. So that 240 level, 235K level, if this just continues to ride up to the upside. That's the Bitcoin. And then this is the projected chart that I've got based off the Fibonacci's. And I've got a Fibonacci from 0 to where we're currently at, where this top is right here. And I get a 1618 at the 168K level. So if that's true, then we would have to break this green line right here. So I have a 1, a 2, miss, 3. So if it comes up here again, if it comes up this way again and touches that green line, it's going to break straight through it. There is no resistance left. So if, in fact, we do start another parabolic run with a candle like this or candles like this, there is no stopping Bitcoin. There is no stopping it. Everything points to it's just going to have a massive break and it's going to continue rising to the upside. How far we'll go up, that's debatable on a few different technical analysis charts that I'm looking at. This one says that I'm basing this off of just the 1618, which is the lowest high that we'd be looking at in December of 2025, because that's the 4-year cycle. It's the 4-year cycle. It's a 4-year cycle. 4-year cycle. This is the Ethereum dominance chart. I've been waiting for this to start alt season, and it just does not want to start it for some reason. Ethereum just keeps dropping to the downside, and Bitcoin just keeps pushing to the upside. But we do have a break. 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break. It's currently riding that. Eventually, it's going to start to turn to the downside. When that will happen, I don't know. It could be that Bitcoin slows down, and all of a sudden Ethereum just goes on a run and breaks its all-time high, $5,000, $6,000 Ethereum. That's extremely possible. So this is what I'm looking at here. I'm waiting for this stuff to happen. I was expecting this to happen, but instead it's just riding that line and I'm getting ready to drop again. It's not as bouncy as it is like it used to be. So I think Bitcoin's got a lot more power, but you can see how nasty Ethereum just got yanked down. And I don't know if that's because of everything is diluted in the Ethereum market versus the Bitcoin market. With Ethereum, you got all these different chains, these different platforms, everything is being used for tech, and money being drowned out everywhere, whereas Bitcoin is still its own dominance by itself. There's lots of good chains, there's lots of good stuff out there, but that might be diluting Ethereum's market. That could be a good reason on why it's not reached the all-time highs that that everybody's expected it to. So looking at Sui, I fear for Sui right now. Honestly, I know it's got the X1 out. I know it's got some stuff, but it bounced right here at this level, which I was very proud of Sui for doing that, because this was like the lowest level. So this is like a wave, and then that's the top of the wave, comes down and then comes up. And then if it's going to continue, it can't break that wave. But we have a candle close on a 3-day time frame right here, which is nasty. That means that we're going to end up coming up, hitting our head on here, and probably coming back down and retesting off the next support lines. This is a support line. This is a support line. So if we want to intersect that, that's going to be January uh, 30th, June 30th, 2025. So does that mean that we're going to get a bounce up here, hit our head on this, and then come all the way back down here and get a bounce off that before we start riding up again? This is a key indicator that we're not going to continue a parabolic run. That's what I'm currently looking at with SUI. This is also a dragon pattern. It is a bullish pattern. So I'm waiting for these channels to do something. Currently, it's broke into that channel, so it's bullish from this 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break. And so you're finally up inside of it, and I could see you coming all the way up here before coming back down. But rest assured, I don't think this level at this $2 is going to hold for SUI in the near future. I give it a couple of weeks, and we'll follow this one and see what's going on. This is the deep SUI ratio trading that I was playing with. It works the same way with TA. Deep is the it's kind of like the PulseX of Pulse Chain, if that makes sense. So if you have PulseX, it's used as the utility for the gas token we're currently using. So SUI Deep works the same way, and Deep got a major dump. So if you're trading SUI or Deep, that was a nasty dump it currently had all the way back down here. So, but the good news is this has a massive wave 1, wave 2, and if that's the case, then Deep can continue to rise up to new heights. But looking at the ratio trading, is it better to hold on to SUI, or is it all better to hold on to Deep? That's the same kind of question that you'd ask yourself if you're holding Pulse or you're holding PulseX. So as it turns out, for the last month, since January, it was better to hold SUI than it was Deep. But ratio just changed. That means that now Deep will get more of a price impact to the upside than SUI will. So I go back and forth with these. And if you wanted to get in this particular project, there's a thing you can get like 20% APY on just holding Deep and then compounding it, but on SUI land. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But looking at WPLS again, it does look like it's good to the upside. I'm going to say that we're going to continue to ride this wave. This right over here, you're going to hit your head on right over here. This 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros and a 2, 8. What's next on our list? Solid X. This is I'm going to call this the Solid X1 because he's got 2 Solid X tokens. And from the looks of it, it's still trading sideways at $8. Doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot. It's right at the cusp of getting a breakdown again. It's already got one breakdown. This is a higher low. So if you can bounce right here and continue to the upside, you're looking at a 230% at least for a run-up to be able to finish this channel. So again, everything is moving really, really slow and sideways. PTGC did really good with the buy right there at the top of this level right over here. We didn't want to break this, and we came right to it, and it smacked it and then rejected from it. So far, so good. You're on your way to the upside. PTGC currently looks, it's not even touching the line again, so it looks bullish to continue to stay in. Personally, I have some staked now. I was able to get a good level down here, so I put my stuff away for a while, and we're gonna sit in PTGC for a while because I'm looking at this right over here as being one massive wave 1, one massive wave 2, and then the wave 3 is going to have the most amount of volume. So once this thing does actually take off and break through this resistance, this should have a lot of volume coming in, which is everything between probably end of May till December. But if we're looking at this, we have this resistance right over here. It's already hit once. It's got to hit 2 more times to break through this. We got all kinds of levels to look at on here. So we'll keep popping this chart up and see where we go from there. And then Pulse X. It's interesting because I wanted to bring up the ratio trading on this one as well. We had a bull pennant and it rode the bull pennant exactly perfect. See that? So this is a bull pennant. You use the flag off of here. So this is your flag that you would use. So you could have followed this one by running that like that. So now you know where your measured move is off of that. And then you ended up coming all the way back down. And now you're bullish again, being that you're on the top side of this. So now you're going to have to start a whole new set of parabolic waves. So it's definitely better to be holding some Pulse X than just holding straight up Pulse Chain. That's the that's been a good narrative since the beginning right over here. Moving on to the time token. A lot of people have been talking about time token ever since Rabby wallet has gone to the wayside. And they got a little bit of attention. Still trading sideways. They still got some room to grow. Cool thing about the Internet Money Wallet is you can buy the time token, and then if you use the Internet Money Wallet, you can claim free Pulse Chain. It's not a lot, but you get free gas just by holding it. And at these prices, it's basically the same price it was back here, so it's just trading sideways. It may continue to do that since it's technically one of those incentive tokens. But I think that it's got a lot of potential to rise to the upside if it gets adopted. The one thing that I do know about this that I found out that is really, really fun is that they have an on ramp. They're one of them, like a really cool way that you can just use their wallet, and then you can onboard your crypto from cash from your bank account, debit card, credit card. So if you have friends that want to be onboarded into Pulse Chain, if you just get yourself the Internet Money Wallet and then you set yourself up on there, you can onboard people directly from that instead of having them go buy it on Coinbase, move it over to DeFi, and then bridge it over and then buy the token. You can literally just have them buy Pulse Chain directly through the wallet with their credit card, and then they can trade right on chain. So I think that that's a huge bonus for them. I think that they're going to get a lot of attention in the future. So keep an eye on Internet Money Wallet. They have a lot of cool things coming. And then I wanted to point out Up Token because we were talking about this cup and a handle pattern, which is still forming. We have this huge cup that we have. We have one cup right over here, one handle, and now we got another cup and another handle. So we're going to do it again. This one should ride all the way up to this level right over here. So if we get back up to these levels, you guys are going to be in some serious moolah. The percentages is 200% on that run. And with Up and Up X, they have the LPX platform coming out. I would call it a DCA bot, which is pretty cool because if people are selling off the Jeters, you have something that's actually automatically buying the price back up. And it's the system that's buying it. It's not like more programs that are going to be selling off on your head. So UpX is definitely a program to be in. Up and UpX. I like this. Shout out to Haunted for keeping up with the project. OG.
Hey, what's the ratio if you click on WPLS up there? What are we at? 1 to what? 6.3.
This is the daily.
It's off to the right. 6.
You can't. It's, you know what? It's kind of hard to compare these two because the PDI Minter was completely just destroying the whole chain. But he's got a platform that's, I mean, it's still buying. Money's being injected into this. There's only 67K worth of liquidity in this one, but it's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this has a good future to it.
Rip City's asking about Base and Sonic. Yeah, I think you covered Sui. I don't know if you're prepared or if you will in the future. Always keep tabs on these two as well if you'd add them to your list.
Did you say base?
Yeah, one of the questions in the comments was just asking about base and Sonic L1s, how the price performance is.
Base is not a token, though. So clarify. Base doesn't have their own token.
The L1. So, yeah. So, like, Sonic is S.
Sure. Let me get through these, and then just hold it tight. Let me just fly through the rest of these, and then we can come and take a look at whatever charts you got. Put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to pull them up and trade them live. Wanted to get to Tetra. Tetra's hitting its head right now. I don't think it's going to break through. You only got 3 times a hit. However, it's nice to see Tetra wake the fuck up, man. This is a nice green candle you had in the last week. I don't know where the hell it come from.
Well, it just launched. So the protocol, so Neil and company, they actually launched the Tetra protocol itself. So this is just the token. But to answer your green candles there, that's the bullishness because it finally is a live, working, breathing protocol.
Do you believe that nothing else is doing this right now? You know,
There's been a lot of this has been waiting in the wings for 2 more weeks and 2 more weeks.
Yeah, since the beginning of time. I mean, I like Tetra.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like old technology. It's been forgotten about, like Liquid Loans and a lot of these other projects like Power City. I wish that they would come out and either find a way to inject capital into their own projects to be able to make these green candles.
So those 2 alone that you just mentioned had sacrifices. Millions of dollars of sacrifices.
Why wasn't that injected? I don't want to get into the politics of
and you know that's
all of that, but
that's semantics and all that.
A lot of people are wondering that.
Sacrifices should be that your token should be sustainable, which means that if the token gets sold off, that capital should be going into there. Or sacrifice just means that you're giving somebody money to be able to start the project, and you're just going to have free tokens.
Well, but that's the whole thing about, no expectations. Give us your money. There's no expectations. So there's always that.
So, you learn your lesson because,
amen.
Richard Hart still hasn't pumped our bags. That's the idea that we're still talking about. Richard Hart's going to pump our bags. If it ever happens, I guess that will be amazing. But for now, let's go ahead and not pretend that's going to happen. How about that? So sacrifices are not historically are not a positive thing for a project, right? You look at Matty Allen's new token that he's got.
I knew you were going to go there.
How familiar are you with it? Is it still locked up? The sacrifice, is it still locked up, or did it unlock and the chart dump? Let's look at it. No, it's not promoted. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
We're going to look at it. Why don't you bring it up when I get past these next few charts, and then we'll come back to those questions, because I've got a few more things I really wanted to point out, and then you'll have an understanding of what I'm going to explain a little later after you have those questions.
What's his even ticker symbol? I haven't looked at an ounce of anything.
You can pull up DAI, and it should pop up as one of the top ones up here.
I know it doesn't have that much liquidity. How much liquidity does it have? Like 9.5?
I don't know. I gotta go pull the information. If somebody's got the CA, throw it in the chat. We'll look at it here in a little bit.
Derailed. You're on up. Are you still talking about up?
We're talking about a lot of stuff. That's all right. We're moving on. Continue. Sorry to interrupt your flow.
No. Yeah, up is back here. We're done with up. Up's bullish right now. So
you're on Tetra. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, Tetra is currently hitting its head, so I'm not sure it's going to continue to go. If you break above here, close a candle, and we can start recharting this. But as far as right now goes, you need to get a higher low. You need to come down here, hit about halfway, and then continue to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at with Tetra. But that's just a TA standpoint. And then Hex is currently in a bullish pattern, if you can call this bullish. You got a higher low, right? That looks pretty bullish. One day this is going to be an unexpected thing where Richard's going to come out of his shell and Hex is just going to come take off like this, and nobody's going to be expecting it. I really, really think that that's going to happen, personally. This is just, a higher low. It comes all the way back down because this out right here is the bottom. So this is going to be wave 1. This is going to be wave 2, and then you're going to be up here for wave 3. Does that make sense? You just take your Fibonacci from here to here. You flip that over, and then this is your next target right here at 11 cents. 11 cents is going to be what percent from here? 1,700%. Simple. It's easy to do. Where prices are so low, it's not going to take much just to inject that capital in there. Pump our bags. So I was looking at EHEX, and you're fumbling around down here. I thought you were going to get a higher low, but you came down here and retested this break with a lower high. That means we have to look back here, this is a daily chart, and we're just going to have some more boring sideways action. We have to come up here and then come back down here again. So more sideways action. But if we come up to these levels, we're looking at somewhere around 50%. For this resistance level. Again, you're going to hit your head. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break, no retest. So you're definitely going to come up here and hit your head on this level at the 002 level, 2.5. So you've got multiple resistances you have to worry about. 1, 2, this is only a third hit. This intersection right here is going to be April 25th. So we could get a rise. This could be a good indicator of the direction of what about time frame we're going to come up and hit this level. So April 25th, we could be bullish till then, and then we come back down. So these are little secrets to look out for when you're doing charting. So look out for the April 25th bullish run up until here, and then we get traded back down. And if you can see, we're in a cup and a handle pattern. So that would be confluence with that. Oops. I just want to say like this. So this is to be your cup and handle. And then you break out from there, and then you get your measured move, which is going to be up here at the 007. So that's what I would be expecting here. Since we got 1 and 2, this would be 3. This would be 4 times a break. You get your retest, and then you come on up. But again, you're going to need to get a higher low. So how far down is this handle going to go? It's going to be a channel format. So if we do end up hitting this level over here, you're going to see something like this. And then you're going to see it come up inside this handle, trade around, and then break out and go up. So we got some sideways action stuff that's happening. It's not going to go straight parabolic right now. I know everybody wants it to just go to the moon, but holy cow, dude, we're still getting rejected on these candles. This is the incentive token. We should be mooning right now. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 times a break. We're going to be hitting our head at about $1.90, $2 level. If we're looking at that this is the 3-day chart. So we'd be hitting our head at April 25th, right around this $1.80 level before we come back down. So I do see some bullish action here in the next couple of weeks, but it's going to be short-term, short-lived. We need a higher low. And the old teddy bear is dead. So you see the top to the bottom. The 1618 was your target buy zone, and you ended up trading below that. The blue line down here is 0, just to let you know. That's how far down this thing has gone. The blue line is literally 0. This thing is not coming back to life. The old teddy bear is dead. It's dead. B-Roots is no longer shilling it. And I don't even know why they're having a chat in their chat anymore. So old teddy bear, stay away from it. New teddy bear, he's now shilling this one. They basically are just going to take all the information that they had from the old teddy bear and throw it on this one. The problem with this one is you're already running into resistance. You were support, resistance, and now you're going to end up falling down. So I'm not 100% confident on this yet as far as you're having your first pullback, because you have your big wave 1 up, your big wave down 2. So we'd be looking at these levels over here to be able to stay above. So if you're going to get a pullback, you're already going to get a pretty nasty pullback, and that's going to be somewhere around 36%, 50%. So if you were to buy in right now, you have a potential of going down 53% down to this level over here, which is going to be the double bottom. And that's just based off of this one trend line right over here, which is support, resistance, and now you're going to be resistance again. So you're looking for lower high, lower high, lower high. So right now you got a higher low. So right now you're going to come down here, probably get a lower high, and then come down here to this level. So that's, I can already see that this is going to be a problem area for this. It's already going to be a problem area. Look, you start with the wick, you hit the wick, you hit this one, come down here, hit this small, and then pop down. So I'm not sure you're going to gain that much strength on here, especially if everything else starts to go bullish here temporarily. This may end up getting a pullback while everything else is going bull, because a lot of money went into this instead of the cores. And dark token, it's just screaming breakout. It's screaming breakout again and again and again. It's just, it wants to go. It just wants to go. I'm telling you. Right over here, it's that point where if this thing breaks out, you do have some resistance levels up here to $21. I'll take that all day long. That's a 1x right there. Look at all the horizontal stuff right over here. $15. All this horizontal level, $21. So yep, come on up here and hit this, and then trade sideways, and then continue breaking out. But the longer this thing trades sideways and does this baby tiny up and down, up and down, up and down, and finally breaks out, it's going to have a massive run to the upside. So dark is looking decent. Now,
would you say a breakout is imminent on dark?
Yeah. When you look at the chart, you just
it's right there. Yeah.
I mean, somebody just buy one token and let's watch this thing moon, all right? Because you only got 1K worth of liquidity sitting in here. Ain't gonna take much for this thing to fly.
And shout out to Dark, anti-gravity group. We will say hello to our fellow brethren and friends, the Hexius man and the good old Pulse Ray Vision and crew holding it down, representing the Dark and the whole anti-gravity community. Go to their website. They're having a lottery for their tokens, the Dark token. And you go and you mint it, and you get fuel cells, which then yield you more dark in the future as the game progresses. They got a book coming out on anti-gravity, the saga. It's beautiful. It's really a work of art what they're doing.
This website really makes me dizzy, but I like it a lot.
It's cool.
This stupid sun just distracts me as I'm coming down.
Yeah, slide. What is that? Jupiter, Saturn?
Yeah,
Saturn rings.
It's freaking awesome, dude. I love it. It's so unique compared to it grabs your eye. But yeah, he actually updated it too. This is a different style. So he's already on journey number 4. I was looking at this when they were at journey number 2. So
Yeah,
they've been just piping along, man, doing their thing and giving away all these tokens. So yeah, I'd definitely be watching this dark. And then we've got a new friend, Emit. I'm making a 3D character. He's going to be inputted in the game. And I wanted to kind of highlight some of the stuff. This guy's actually had another token he launched. It's still running well. It's called IMPLS. And as I'm looking at this, it's in the load up zone. It's in the buy area for me. This is all this bottom zone that I'm kind of waiting on for, like these levels right over here. I'm just waiting for like PTGC, and I mean it's at that level to where I want to be able to be in this particular zone. So I've loaded up because I'm gonna be. He has a farm. And I'm going to be launching the Deddy Bear on the farm, so people can earn tokens. Just if you hold the Deddy Bear token, you'll be able to just pair it up with a mint, and there you go. You'll be able to get free emit just by holding the LP tokens, which I'll explain in just a second. But the emit chart right over here at less than $1, there's only 12K of liquidity. The amount of tokens that he has in here, check this out. It's about supply and demand, right? If you look at the emit tokens, he's only got 67,000 tokens. That's it. Now, keep in mind it is inflationary because it's just like the ink token, where it's continuing to build as people are getting rewards. But there's only 67,000 tokens, and the APY that you're getting on this, when you pull up the farms, the APYs that you're getting on here are ridiculous. Obviously, the APYs are not going to be, if you hold it for a year, it's not going to stay this percentage. But you got 30%, 28%, 109%, 130%. The dark token with the emit is going to be 274%, 99%, 300. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this back up to the top where I was looking at 281%. I currently have 916 of these tokens myself, and I'm currently earned $35 worth of DAI. So all you got to do is buy the token, and then you come to emit.farms, and then you just single-sided stake them. So you don't need to pair them up with anything. You just put them in the staker, and it's earning 281%, which has not really dropped that much. I mean, it was at 500% a week ago. So it's still earning quite a bit. So what I'll do is I'll end up claiming these. It'll add to the balance over here. By the way, since I'm in his group, and if I'm shilling stuff or, they post in their group, and then you get tokens for interacting with the group. So these are tokens I've gotten from just being in the group and clicking the buttons by sharing the links. And so at the token supply he's currently got it at 67,000 tokens, and the price being 79 cents a piece. This thing is worth 5-6x from here at least right now with next to nothing. It's only 12K market cap. It's just so easy you can bring this up to 100K. So I'm currently sitting. This is my bag that I've got that I'm going to be actually locking up with my Teddy Bear token. So this is liquidity that I'm sticking in here to be able to ramp up, so people will be able to have emit tokens that I can give out to the community as well. So I'm going to have a pair in here that's going to say Teddy Bear and emit, and then I'll also have one that says Teddy Bear. And if anybody's holding the LP tokens, you'll be able to hold the Teddy Bear tokens and the LP tokens, and then you just bring them in here and you lock them up. You're already holding them. This is just a farm. So I wanted to pull this up. This was an interesting concept with the PDAI. So I wanted to pull this up with PDAI because when we started this back a month ago, this was on the 15th of March. It's now the 12th of April. So almost 1 month. He has minted 900 billion tokens. 100,000 million. 990 million tokens. This was 23.9. So that many tokens, if you were to do 1 billion tokens, you pull up this chart. If he goes for another month at the current price he's at, he can still pull out another $1.8 million worth of liquidity if the price is still the same and he's got that much liquidity to pull out. So I asked myself, I said, Self, does he have that much liquidity left to actually pull out? So in order to find that, there's a website that you can go to. I just want to give a shout out to dark because he's the one that actually showed me this in one of his streams. Liquidity
Yeah,
dash
X-ray vision,
yeah,
or pulse ray vision showed you.
man. So liquidity-pools.versal.app. This is a pretty cool thing because you can come over here, you can type in the scan. I do all tabs, and then you can scroll down, and then you can see all the liquidity pools that it's currently locked up with. Now this is going to be the PDI. So when I was talking to you earlier about like the Matty token and everything else, it all stems around how much liquidity is left in PDI and how much more is going to be drained out of Pulse Chain and all this other stuff, yada yada yada. So we know that we had some pretty high balances over here. So this is a token that's no longer being traded. I don't think it has any liquidity. A Tropa we know doesn't really have a whole lot of liquidity left to be able to drain out of. There's 9 million of that, so we're not too worried about that. This token, I have no idea what it is, but it looks like it's probably a part of the Atropa ecosystem as well. 1 million of that. And then we come down to WPLS. There's still 725K worth of liquidity that you can pull. Think about that. Now, in a 1 month time, if he can continue at the same rate that he was, because as soon as he found out that we knew about it, the PDI minter,
Yeah.
he started printing as fast as he possibly could, according to what we saw. And it's been a pretty consistent amount that's been coming out. So if he's still able to pull out $1.8 million worth of tokens in 1 month from now, where's that liquidity going to come from? Well, there's 725K that's currently left in WPLS, but there's also 194K in WBTC. This is the Pulse Chain version of WBTC. He can also run it through USDC. PTGC's currently got 121K. That's going to have a tax on it, so I don't think that that's going to be hit first. I think that'll be hit last. But again, it's another source of revenue when these things get pulled out.
But I think the power of PTGC UFO, or PG, it will overpower that net loss. Many people are not.
Why it's not going to heavily affect their own personal token.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about how much and how unfair it is that this guy's able to still
100%,
take money off of our chain because there's not money coming onto the chain. And that's where the problem is if you take another $1 million or $2 million off of the chain, you're just taking that liquidity being traded between all of us. And that's the biggest problem we have. Teddy Bear's almost at zero. UFO's sitting here with 100K. I believe this is either burned liquidity or stuff they can't touch, but they're still in the bag with that. You got regular DAI. There's 52K worth. So there's still certainly a bunch of tokens that they can extract at least $1.8 million worth of liquidity out of. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, easily are in that ballpark total.
So I'm assuming that these are accurate, but these are all the liquidity pools. So you got 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. There's all these different projects right over here that still have stuff locked up with it. $6,000 with ink. So this is
So where's that gonna So and maybe that explains, and who knows if it does or doesn't explain the Rabby. Maybe Rabby didn't want to knowingly send people to a chain easily, knowing that there was, a net drainer on it. I don't know, but it's a speculative guess on my part.
Yeah, at this point, as far as the speculation goes, going back and forth on why they did it, who cares?
I know.
They weren't a pulse chain product. They just allowed it, and everybody jumped on board. Why isn't everybody jumping on board on internet money? It's a native product. It's got onboarding. Why is everybody so hung up on Rabby Wallet? I don't understand it. If Rabby has to, when you listen to KG speak about this, his theory is that people are pulling a lot of inquiries, and every time you pull inquiries, it costs money. And if the Pulse Chain people are not spending money, but they're only utilizing the services, it costs a lot on the back end for them. So if So, I mean, you could have 100 different theories on why, but it doesn't really matter. They made their choice and they're gone. I don't really care, to be honest with you. They're gone. We need to move on, and we still have PulseX. We still have all these other platforms that are native to this chain. So let's put the positivity into these projects that are here that aren't going anywhere, like Internet Money Wallet. Um, that's what I personally think. What's your opinion on that?
And I'm sitting here typing.
Well, I'm just asking about the Internet Money Wallet and
Oh, well, I mean, it's a great wallet. The founder is solid and good. Any changes they make, they're always sending it back, doing audits, etc. Some people say it's a little clunky ish, but I mean, besides that, if that's the biggest knock, I mean, everything's working. He's got a swap. Does he have a swap on there? We should pull up the website,
Yeah.
internetmoney.io. Actually,
You know what?
uh,
Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll actually
yeah,
do a
no, we should, yeah.
wallet. I'll play with it.
You're welcome to, obviously KG's always welcome to come on and talk on the wallet. That would be a great Saturday show, actually. Yeah,
Because he doesn't stop talking. So I mean,
yeah,
he's got a lot of good
He was
answers.
just asking people that want to swim with him.
Yeah,
there you go.
definitely got a lot of good information to. I mean, he literally would take over the space.
If Rip City, if you don't mind, I don't know. Somebody can put out a message him and see if he's willing to come on next Saturday. Start planting the seed.
Yeah, I could reach out to him.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I want to be able to do a live instead of just say, go do this thing. Like I did with Emit, for example. I put my own stuff in Emit. So I have confidence in him. I've been speaking with the
I did as well. Yeah.
So, he's been well vetted already. So the project runs really well. I like it. So this is something that I'm going to get behind because he's native to Pulse Chain. This is a really, really good thing for the whole community, not just here. This isn't some stupid voodoo balls or dick and butt or some funny meme that's not really funny. Teddy bear, which is just another version of the old one. This is something that also has tech, is rewarding people. Another version of the incentive. It's just another reason why people should be here. So focus on these projects that are positive in the community instead of things that are so speculative.
Amen, brother. I agree.
So like King and Queen Pooey, they're not speculative. I mean, this shit's gonna go. There's so much stuff behind it. There's so many connections we have. It's like when you talk about Solid X. I mean, your ears perk up when you hear that because, I mean, you got the fire whale, you got all these other things surrounding just the name Solid X, and it's just one of these things where it's like, okay, now I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? That should be the same way with King and Queen Pooey. Teddy Bear, you can speculate that on if you want. I can tell you right now that I have some stuff to show you for the games that I've got. I've got a couple more previews. I'll bring them up next week. By next week, I should actually have some live play, and I got a second game already being worked on as well. So, but yes, shout out. Let's go ahead and get some of this entertainment going, some of this cool stuff going. I wanted to bring up these other ones right over here since I have them anyway. We're looking at USDC coin, the Pulse Chain version. No more minting has gone on with those. The Tether version, no more minting. And then we also have that's the Emit token we were looking at.
A question in the comments. Juan was asking, "Is the market doing well?" I guess is that stock, crypto. It's a crypto show, so I'm going to go crypto.
The market's still bleeding right now. So if you want to ask the question, you compare it to Pulse Chain and what Pulse Chain is currently doing. Pulse Chain is going to have to hit its head. It's going to have to come up here and hit its head and trade sideways like this for a little while because we still have more extraction to do for the next month. So we're currently on a very, very small bullish run. The difference between what happened then and now is we plug the holes. We know what the problem is. The majority of the people are on the same page where they're not going to be adding more liquidity to PDI and also all this other stuff. I was sitting here having debates with the guys over in the PDI chat yesterday, and I was playing my songs and having fun, like PDI die. And I was over in their Telegram and having a conversation. It was actually pretty interesting because they still say that people are still working on the stuff in the background to peg it so it sets like a peg, but it doesn't make any sense. I said that weeks ago, and I'll say it next week. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to have a project like PDI on this chain, the one you're currently working with is broken, and other people have already touched it. You know what I'm saying? They've it's like having a bowl of spaghetti and you've seen all these people put their fingers in it. It's like, you're not going to eat that. I'm not going to play with that anymore. Let's go ahead and just fork the whole thing and have something fresh. If you want a stable coin on this chain, make a fresh one. Fork it. Fix the problems and do a fork instead of trying to fix what's broken. There's no need to fix what's broken. Just make it new and everybody will be happy. So PDI, let it die. That was my point I wanted to bring across for PDI. But until then, we're still going to have some sideways action and let it trade out. But I mean, this right over here, I think, is the bottom. I think we're going to get lower highs from here. So I'm pretty proud to say that 2 weeks ago when I said this is the bottom, buy, this is, I think, one of the best places lowest prices you could have gotten Pulse Chain ever in history. So I'll be riding that till it doesn't. But for now, I believe it's going to continue to go up. Hasn't been proven yet. We still need higher lows. We still need more room to move up. Does that answer your question? So looking at XRP would be a good example of what's happening. It broke up. It wasn't supposed to break up. It was supposed to come down. It's not confirmed yet, but it is confirming. It's like Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? It's still sitting here. We still got another 5 more hours, and then we'll see what happens. If this wicks back down and you close a candle here, it's still not bullish. So we got some sideways action. We got some tariffs that are still in there. We've got some things that are still bearish. But this was the nail in the coffin for me for the PDI. Understanding how much actual liquidity is in all these pools, because when you pull up the
Hey, will you post that? That's a beautiful source of information. Post that chart in the chat, because that's a good one.
So I'll go ahead and take and put this. Liquidity lookup tool, CA for PDI is, where's PDI? Let me pull this back up.
So, hey, Juan here is sharing some info. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully you're a guy, I guess, at this point. Heard tech got a big tariff relief today. What great news. Yeah, shit. I'm haven't had a cup of coffee yet, but if that's a thing, that is huge. That'll help a lot.
Yeah, the tariff relief is just temporary news, though. They just paused it for a month.
Well, I don't know if he said today, so there might have been a new development at the speed that the Trump administration moves. I wouldn't be surprised. But obviously, yes, there's a 90-day pause on all the 75 countries that are allies and are playing ball and came forward, so they can start to develop a template for a cookie cutter type tariff agreement, so they can speed that process along. So he's saying iPhones and electronics are now exempt from tariffs. So that's huge, man. And you know what? That's exactly why everybody went down to kiss the ring at Mar-a-Lago, right? All the big top execs, Google, Apple guys, they all, and look, now it's paying off for them.
Just kind of the narrative to kind of think about is in December, January, the whales should have been buying. So this might be their relief for them to be able to take profits. So again, it's going to pop up and then probably drop back down because the tariffs are still there, right? I don't think everybody's going to be jumping on board. They're just temporarily stopped. So I wouldn't say. I mean, if you looked at 8 years ago and you looked at where the money was, it wasn't until July that the price actually started to pump really, really hard on Bitcoin. So I'm going to assume that we're going to have that same narrative to where we'll be jogging around sideways for a little while before we take off. Once we're all on the same page, if they were taking billions of dollars in tariffs, that had to have been making an impact around the world. I mean, I know I went to the grocery store yesterday and spent $400. I don't think I've ever spent $400 at the grocery store just getting food, which is
how much are your eggs?
$7.
Holy Jesus Christ!
I went through a whole carton today. Oh man! Just 3 egg omelets with a piece of cheese. Oh my god, it's so delicious!
Oh, that's dynamite! It's dynamite.
So I mean, it doesn't take much to go through, but it's only $7 for eggs. You know, I'm not worried about the eggs. The eggs can be $10, $15, and I'm still going to buy eggs.
Well, yeah,
it's just something
up there. $15 for a carton of eggs. Holy shit!
I mean,
I hear you though.
I mean, what's the difference for eggs when you got to spend, you know,
or 2 gallons of gas for me, man? Jesus,
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
maybe 2.5 gallons, but yeah.
I have to say, ever since I sold my Hummer, I've saved so much more money.
Dude, did you have an H2? Did you have an H2 Hummer?
Yeah.
That thing is a guzzler, bro.
$100 in gas. $100 in gas.
God, you look cool. You look cool.
But you're now I downsized for the time being because you know, and in my next car, I think it's gonna have a Hemi in it because I kind of miss my big engines. But for right now, that's where I'm at. But that Hummer, you know, was super expensive just to maintain to keep going, even though it was super nice. So I don't mind, you know, you've got to pay a little bit more for eggs. If it gets too bad, I'll just go get some chickens. To be honest with you, just put a coop in the back. It's an infinite egg printer.
You probably don't. Yeah, an egg printer. Oh my God, where's Fast Abdul when you need him? We need an egg printer.
That was his reference right there.
Hey, make a meme.
Yeah. Egg printer, yeah. So I have a few more things to throw in the chat really quick, so I'll go ahead and do that.
Hey, we're gonna make eggs great again.
Why don't you throw up a commercial really quick and let's stop this screen. And I'm gonna go ahead and put.
Get ready for liftoff. Tired of tokens that go nowhere? Looking for a solid investment with real potential? Introducing SolidX, the store of value token on Pulse Chain with a fixed supply of just 21 million tokens. Designed for long-term growth, SolidX is built on the same principles as Bitcoin. SolidX is backed by Firewhale, a crypto titan who was ranked number 8 on the Pulse Chain sacrifice list and is the second largest holder of Ink token in the world. And that's not all. SolidX offers multiple use cases, including exciting yield farming opportunities. Get ready for the SolidX Casino, a cross-chain casino game where a portion of the revenue is used to buy and burn both SolidX and Ink tokens. This deflationary mechanism makes SolidX and Ink tokens even more scarce. Don't miss out. The future of finance is here. Find out more by visiting solidx.win today.
From the battlefields to the blockchain, hear the call, hear the sound. Heroes standing tall, champions all around. A mission carved in code on Pulse Chain's sacred ground. Uplifting vets and first responders, tokens value coming unbound, bound. Give it up, it's freedom or bust. With every strength and step, the legacy and just we trust. Raise the flag for heroes, marching through and through.
amazing. So in the chat, I put the alpha for last week, and you have the alpha for this week, and I put the stuff in there for Versal, the liquidity looker upper, and then
And we're back. Come on.
not sure I can share the Midgard stuff, but Mike, check. Can you hear me? Mike, check.
You're good, buddy.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to take this and say, if you guys have not liked and shared, now's the time to do that. I had to pull that little thing up because we needed to get this information out to the other people. If you haven't liked and shared, now's the time to go ahead and hit that like button. Wherever you're at, I think we're on like 5 or 6 different platforms right here. So who's got some requests? What kind of chart you want me to look up? I got some time here.
Want to check out Sonic?
The Sonic.
Yeah.
Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right. I haven't had a cup of coffee. I got to get a cup of coffee here. I'll switch to my phone.
See what I got, man? I got my. I made my kids go give me a Starbucks.
You're
Hey,
smart, dude. So smart.
Yeah.
I'm like a good iced Americano, white mocha, some non-fat milk. That's my jamba.
You know, Americano's made with water. I didn't know that.
Well, I like to hydrate, so yeah.
Coffee and water, it's kind of counterproductive, eh? So I'm looking up something called Sonic. I have no idea what Sonic is.
What the hell?
But you get a bunch of, don't you add an extra shot or two? Get the extra caffeine?
Sometimes. I don't really need that much caffeine, though. I'm already awake.
You're pretty wired.
Yeah, I took my ginkgo today, so my brain is already working on overdrive.
I mean, if you don't know what's going on Sonic, you might want to pay attention.
Sonic, this Sonic? I need the ticker. Sonic and what?
Sonic is an L1, dude.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to it because I'm so engulfed into my own little world right here. The shit I'm doing on a daily basis, the stack of things I've got in front of me, I'm not paying attention to anything else in crypto. My money's already secured in all these different blockchains I've already got my hands in. So tell me about it. Which chart should I pull up? Is it this one right here?
Let me see what you got.
No, Sonic is its own blockchain, you said, right here.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to pull up by liquidity, 20 million, the STS.
Yeah.
Beats. Tell me about this. What's going on? I have no idea what I'm looking at. I can chart it for you.
Yeah, do the chart.
Beats, is that what this is?
You should just be able to either Sonic or I can't really read the screen, so I don't know what you're looking at.
Can't read the screen.
I'm on my phone.
Oh. Make it high definition, brother. What's the ticker symbol?
Check out oil. There was a huge dump in oil today. Can you find out what that was all about?
Well, what about Sonic?
Or Sonic.
What's the ticker for Sonic?
Should be just S.
S?
Yeah.
That's it. S.
Let me go.
Sonic, got it. So this is trading what against what? Sonic and USDC. Liquidity that's in this pair is 132K. Is that right?
Seems like it would be more. Hold on. I'm trying to look on.
All right, we got a liquidity pair with 132K, one with 105K.
You can look up Shadow.
Shadow. What's Shadow?
Shadow's another DEX.
Oh, you want me to go to the DEX?
You could.
Got it. This deck's right here?
You should just be able to look up shadow on deck screener. There's 6.2 million in liquidity.
Yep.
Yeah, go there.
So this is Shadow and Cooled Sonic WS.
Yeah, it'd be Rap Sonic.
This is looking at the the Shadow token though, so not the. So you want me to pull up the actual Shadow here? Ends in 3333, huh? All right, so Shadow 33 eggs. We're just talking about that.
This is another project like 2Fucks, really.
Looks like it's about to hit its head. More rejections coming. Wonder if this will look better in a log. Yeah, it looks like I'm breaking a retest right there. It's traded below here. So your next key level that you want to be at is this level right here. This is your buy zone.
So the founder of Sonic is Andre Kanye. He's the Phantom founder, and this basically just launched last month. Sonic, that is.
I hear Sonic has got some really fast transaction speed, so I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, a little faster than Pulse Chain. It's got a great community, a lot of deep pockets, a lot of people that don't, hate on Andre Kanye. That matters. I would imagine. Probably not as deep pockets as Richard himself, but more people are involved.
Well, this fib's looking pretty good right over here. I could see this as being the bottom right here. It looks like it needs to come down and take another lower high. Lower low, I'm sorry. Doesn't look like it's done bleeding out yet. That's got to be stretched over here a little bit more. I'd expect maybe a breakup. I don't know. You're below this 0.75 level. This is your zone right here. So it looks like you might pop up to this area and then get another drop back down. You're already below it though, so you may end up falling all the way down here before you get popped up to here and then drop down again. Right now, there's no pattern yet unless we put it into a channel. Maybe it's already broke out.
A lot of people are playing the LP game and messing around on Sonic to earn airdrop rewards that are going to happen sometime towards the end of the year, I believe. And so not a lot of capitulation going on because everyone is trying to collect points.
Yeah, I think it's just because this market is so dead right now with crypto and all the bad stuff that's happening. So we can see where the break was. We got our first. This would be an V.I.C correction. So now we're just going to be trading sideways, but ultimately we have our next target zone to buy is this level right here. So I don't see anything above that because you already broke this level. You already broke this level. You already broke this level. So this is your next area to play around, and trying to find a good fib for this is difficult. If I were to say, I would probably take this, put it right here, be it this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. And then this would be the ultimate area that you would have to focus on. So this is the one area to look at. Let's make this a little brighter here. Disposition. So this is
weeks, months. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at shadow.
No. I'm just thinking about time. What's your time frame and when you're talking about this is where it's going?
I don't know. I'm looking at these two zones right here because the Fibonacci level comes down here, and if you were to take this channel and you line it up with the top, and you line it up with this little tip and this tip, you're going to get a big interjection level over here about May 10th. That's what I'm looking at for a down. So this has only got 2 hits to the upside, so there's not enough to hit it. You're currently back above that level, but this is going to go under, over, and then under again. So you've already passed this point at the 0.75. So your next hit's going to be here, but you've already got 1, 2. You come down here and touch this level again for the 3rd time. This is going to break down. So I don't see this as being very bullish at the time being. I think it's going to be short-term bearish for a little while yet. I'm assuming people are probably trying to sell off. So that should actually break down and then stay below here and then finally get down to this level before you can break out. That's what I'm going to expect. You got 2 good buy zones. You got this buy zone right over here, and then you got another buy zone right here. What happens if you take a Fibonacci and then you just put it on from the very top to this peak right here? You get exactly the 875. So you might wick down to here, close a candle body right there. So here's your second level to look at. So this might be maybe a wick down here and a candle body close, and then you take off from there. So, and that's just based off of taking this last high to this last low, and you get the 1618. If you break the 1618, then you usually come down further. But I would say this will probably be your first lowest level that you'd be looking at. That's going to be at $17. Worst case scenario, you're down to $12. So Sonic doesn't look very bullish to me at all right now. Just because you broke these key levels right over here, which is to the upside, at least on this shadow token.
Yeah, this is shadow. I don't know if that's still there.
What else we got? You said oil.
Yeah, pull up oil. There was just a huge sell-off today.
This is oil on crypto, though. This is not like
this is oil on Sonic.
Oh, on Sonic. Got it. I thought you meant like real oil, man.
They got a whole protocol where you're basically mining for oil. You're becoming a landman. It's kind of like Sims, the old Sims game.
Is it like real or fake?
Yeah, you're just building.
It's like for fake? It's like game?
It's like you're mining. oil is the token.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a little complicated, and I'm just getting to learn it. So, but I know there was like, what did that go up to? What, 250?
So what's the purpose of this token? I mean, is it real? Is it real or what? Is it
Let me
fake?
see. Is Jake here?
This shit looks like
Is more inclined to talk. I know he doesn't like talking about it, but he knows more about
yeah, God, this thing looks like Spark token.
it.
You see what Spark's doing? God damn.
No, you didn't. Oh my God.
I'm gonna pull
He's,
up.
he's going down that rabbit hole. Jesus. He's not even in the group. Oh my God. If he's saying that, imagine what everybody else is saying. Oh my God.
Hey, look, the fucker's still in the channel though. Look at that.
Just within the margins.
Looks like Spark. I mean, dude, compare. No, but what I was referring to with Spark is that it's you got these sideways action things that are happening right here, where it peaks down and you're trying to get back above it, trying to get back above it, trying to get back above it.
So forget Spark. I took all
Yeah.
my money out of it. But anyways, emits the new shit. That's good. But petroleum here, yes. So yeah, that's
Is it a game? Is it something you can do? Is it fun?
yeah. It's got utility. People are buying properties and oil. It's all based around oil.
There you go.
Is it fake property? Is it? I mean,
It's virtual.
so it's fake.
I mean,
Yeah, oil's cool. It's a play to earn game, and oil is the yield token, so it has some sell pressure, but they are cooking in the background and growing the ecosystem. 100% correct there, Psycho Crypto 023. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you have to hit your head. So if you do end up getting some bullish, I mean, it's possible it could pop up because you do got a. It's riding the bottom of this now. So if you do get a pop up, it's going to be something like this. Boop, and then you hit your head. So same thing as everything else right now as far as the narrative goes. What's the percentage?
Yeah, they got sheiks, estates, property.
we got the bank.
Dude, you know it burned out of the, what is it, million tokens? It's burned now 751,000 oil out of the 1 million. Now, it is inflationary because people earn the wrapped version, which is coil, crude oil, COIL. It's not traded, but for pumping oil, you earn coil, and then you put the crude oil, into the refinery, and then after the refinery turns it into the ticker symbol oil, and then that's what you use to upgrade and repair and buy. So it's a whole thing, man. Yeah. So the properties are NFTs, so you can easily sell, and they are all minted out. So yeah, it's
I'm
different.
not. It sounds like it's got something fun to do, and that might be the winner. But I still don't get it. It still doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like it's a good chart. According to what I'm looking at, I mean, from here to here is 150%. So you could actually get a run back up to this 39 cents. It's very cool. But where does it go from there? Is it hit ahead and continue to go down, or is it actually does it have something that's going to continue the growth of the actual project?
Well, 500 people have just gotten in the last week. So,
well, why sell off? Because the price went down.
I think something happened. I was wondering if you could see that on the chart, but something definitely happened.
They just launched phase 2, so they're very active. This game only launched 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that they're actually building real time and deploying the upgrades and the phases. But yeah, so it's one of those things with Hex and everything. We know it's down 99%, but we know what Hex is. We know what's under the hood, the contract, etc. So like Psycho's saying, the chart is wrecked, but he bought more today and upgraded his pumps. Golden pumps are the way to go. They put out more.
Yeah.
But there's utility and use case because you have to reinvest the money to keep repairing your pumps to earn and buy buildings and this and that. But to buy the buildings and properties, you have to burn the oil. You have to use oil to buy the different things to earn more yield. So on the back end, you're earning WS, which is wrapped sonic. So you're getting things in return. Now you're getting the wrapped version of Sonic, which is, this WS wrapped Sonic.
I should have made this 3D, man. I would have totally made that. I'm not connecting my wallet, but I get it. Looks like a fun game to play. It looks like something to do. This is what we need on Pulse Chain. Why are we on Sonic? It just needs to be on Pulse Chain.
Well, the people from Pulse Chain that are here, they're trying to make money to bring back over to Pulse. So,
well,
That's the
then
plan.
the project like you're looking at here with the games, you'll be able to buy stuff with cash with the games that I'm building. Cash money. That's real.
Right on.
Instead of just taking from other chains and bringing it over, right? So that's the route I'm going to be going. Because all this stuff right over here, I would rather be injecting money into the actual token and watching it go up versus having everybody just give people tokens and it sells off. So bring a different life to this.
So were we just talking about Fast Abdul earlier?
Yeah, the egg printer.
Oh yeah. We needed Fast because he's going to develop the egg printer.
You know what? We can probably do that right now. Look at